Hello everyone, the topic for today is X-ray films. So now in this video I'm going to talk about all the classifications for these X-ray films and also about the main two topics that are the classification. In now classification you have one classification according to the emulsion. So there are single emulsion and double emulsion. So this is a very commonly asked question. So I'm going to give you a complete set of that differentiation and even the differentiation between the direct and indirect. So it depends upon the sensitivity. So starting off with the main, that is, now what are these X-ray films? So now this is when the X-ray, it passes through the films, it produces the image. Now this film, it is the most important material which is used to decode the information which is carried by the X-ray beam. So when the X-ray beam, it hits the object, because of that the image, it is created on the film. So it is used to decode that information when they are made to pass through the tissue. They record the information regarding the object through which the X-ray it pass, and hence they are helpful in diagnosis and treatment. So your X-ray film, they are the most important part in the diagnosis and the treatment, because now you can diagnose a case only when you get an image out of it, and this films, it creates that image. So they capture the invisible image into a visible form. So for example, if you have caries, so your caries, it cannot be visible clinically, so you are taking a radiograph, and that invisible image, it is formed into a visible form through this X-ray films. So this is basically how it looks like. The X-ray beam, it passes through the object and it is decoded on this film, and we get the diagnosis and the treatment done depending upon this. Now there are various classifications. So first classification is according to the emulsion. It is classified into single and double. Then according to the sensitivity, it is direct, indirect. According to the use, whether it is intraoral, extraoral or duplicating. In intraoral you have periapical, bite wing and occlusal. Then the other classification is depending upon the speed of the film, that is slow, fast, hyper speed. And last is the according to the packaging, that can be single film and double film. Now I'm going to explain each one of it, because now it's also asked in your viva. The examiner, he will ask which type of film are you using depending upon the sensitivity. So in that case you have to say which exactly you are using. So this is just an example. He'll ask you anything related to this classification. So starting off with the first classification, that was according to the emulsion, that was a single emulsion or a double emulsion. Now what is emulsion? So emulsion, it is a component of your X-ray film. So this is the composition of your X-ray film, which I'm going to cover later, like in depth. Emulsion is nothing but it is one of that component of your X-ray film. So it is a component of the film which is sensitive to the X-rays and the visible light, and it records the radiographic image. So this emulsion, it consists of this silver halide crystals. So this emulsion, it is a component which is sensitive to your X-ray. So when your X-ray beam, they are passing through the film, so this emulsion, it is sensitive to it, and because of this emulsion, the radiographic image is formed on that film. The main part, that is the differentiation, because there's a very commonly asked SAQ in which they'll ask you a question, the difference between a single coated and a double coated emulsion layer. So first point you need to write is the emulsion layer in a single coated, as it says, it is a single coated, so it is on the one side, and in double coated it is on the both sides. Now in this diagram over here, so in this, now you can see this is the dotted one is the emulsion layer. So in a single coated, the emulsion layer is only single, and in double layer, now you can see this double coated, there are two emulsion layers which are present. So this is the first point that you need to write, that is the emulsion layer. The next point is the patient radiation dose. Now in single coated it is more, in double coated it is less. Now as we have seen, now emulsion layer, it is sensitive to X-ray and it records the radiographic image. So if your emulsion, it is single coated, so because of that the radiation dose will also increase, because it will require time to produce that radiographic image. But now in double coated, the radiographic image, it will comparatively form like earlier than the single coated ones, and hence the patient radiation dose, it is more in single coated and it is less in double coated. The next is the radiographic details. So in radiographic details, your single coated one, it has more radiographic image, and the double coated, it has less details. Now why it is? It is dependent upon that parallax effect. Now what is this parallax effect? So parallax effect is nothing but the image, it is formed in two different positions for the same object when it is exposed to the X-ray. Now we have seen this parallax effect even in the Clark's rule, in which we are seeing that there are two images which are formed of a single object. So this parallax effect you will find in the double coated one and not in the single coated, and because of that there are two images which are formed out of a single object, and because of that it can like cause radiographic details, so it can lessen the radiographic detail in a double coated one, and the radiographic detail it is more in a single coated one. So this we have covered. Now the radiographic detail it is more in single coated and it is less in double coated, and we have even covered about the parallax effect. So parallax effect you will not find it in the single coated one, and you will see this parallax effect in the double coated. The next is the average gradient. So average gradient in single coated it is very less, and in double coated it is more. Now what is this average gradient? So the image gradient it is the directional change in the intensity or the color of an image. So this gradient of this image it is very important in the image processing. So this gradient is nothing but the change intensity or the color in an image. So in single coated the average gradient is very less, that is the change in the intensity it is very less in the single coated one and it is more in the double coated one. Now the next is the contrast. So in this, the single coated one, the contrast is less. In double coated, the contrast is more. So contrast is nothing but the lightness or the darkness of your film. So it is less in your single coated and it is more in the double coated. And the last point and the most important point is this non-curl back layer, which is present in the single coated and it is not present in the double coated. So now this is the non-curl back layer, and you can find this only in a single ended emulsion films. Now as the emulsion it swells during the processing, so because of this emulsion the film it swells during the processing of the films, and because of that swelling the film it tends to curl. So to prevent that you are having this non-curl back layer. Now this is prevented by adding a gelatin layer on the opposite side of the emulsion. So this is nothing but a non-curl back layer. Now in this diagram, now as I have said, this is a single coated, so this is a super coat. This is an emulsion layer. Now this is a single layer in a single coated. These two are the adhesive and this is a base. I'm going to explain about this in depth like in the later videos. Now over here this is a super coat and there are two layers. Now you can see there are two layers on the either side of it. So these two layers are the emulsion, again adhesive and the base. But you won't find this anti-halation or the non-curl back layer in this double coated. Now what is this anti-halation? Now anti-halation is, now first to see what anti-halation is, we should know what exactly halation is. So halation is nothing but it is a phenomena which is characterized by the formation of a diffuse image or a halo which is around the proper image. So basically what it is, so it means that a ghost image it is produced outside the proper image by the light which is transmitted. So there is a presence of this ghost image outside the proper image. It is when the light it is transmitted through the base. So now you can see over here the light it is transmitted. This is your base, this is your emulsion, this thin layer is your emulsion and this is a base. So when the light it passes or light it transmitted through this base, so this from here it gets reflected, and due to this there is formation of this ghost image. So this yellow one is nothing but the halation, and this halation it causes unsharpness of the image. So depending upon this angle at which the light it strikes this base, there are two things that can happen. So it can pass completely from the out of the base, or there can be like it gets, now over here you can see it is getting reflected back, and this reflected back it forms this halo image around the proper image. So this brown one is your proper image, that is the exact image that you want, and this is nothing but the ghost image which is formed. This is halation. So to prevent this halation we are incorporating dye in this non-curl back layer. So what we are doing is, now to prevent this halation we are adding dye to this non-curl backing, or we can add dye directly to this base. So this is nothing but anti-halation layer is nothing when a color dye it is added to the anti-curl layer to prevent the effect of halation is nothing but the anti-halation layer, and this layer you can find this only in the single coated. So you have to remember this point very well. Now what are the advantages of a single emulsion film? In this there will be good image quality. Now we have seen the radiographic details, it is more in the single emulsion, and the next is it is less expensive. But now what is the disadvantage? So disadvantage is the curling problem, and to prevent that we are having this non-curl back layer in this single coated emulsion films. So this is all about single coated and double coated emulsion films. Now the next type of difference is depending on the sensitivity. So depending upon the sensitivity it is classified into two, that is direct action or indirect action. So direct action they are nothing but non-screen films, and this indirect action is nothing but a screen films. So now what is this direct and indirect? So direct is without the screen. Now what is the screen? So it is without intensifying screen, and indirect is with the intensifying screen. So indirect is nothing but you're taking intensifying screen to produce that image, and because of that it is indirect. Direct is nothing but through direct, like through this direct films you are getting an image on that film. So the intensifying screen is what? So now intensifying screen, they consist of a fluorescent phosphors which are suspended in an inner transparent binder. So now what is this intensifying? So the word intensifying, it means which increases the intensity of the X-ray on the film. So it is increasing the intensity of the radiographic image. Now as the intensifying screen they are efficient in stopping the transmitted X-ray beam. So this intensifying beam, so this intensifying screen, what they do is they stop the X-ray beam and they convert them into the visible light by the photoelectric effect. So this is nothing but the intensifying screen. So now according to the sensitivity, it is direct and indirect. So direct action, or it is known as non-screen films, or it is also known as wrapped or the packet films. So this type of film, it is sensitive primarily to the X-ray photons. So you are not using the intensifying screen over here. So they are exposed with the X-ray photons only over here. And in indirect, they are mainly by the visible light. Now as we have seen, your intensifying screen, it converts the X-ray beam into the visible light. And because of that, they are exposed with the visible light, because now indirect, it has this intensifying screen. So it is used without the screen and with the screen. In this, the emulsion layer, it is thick because it is direct, and over here it is thin because you are also using intensifying screens. Now the image formation, indirect, it is deep and it is superficial in indirect ones. The image formation is deep, the processing time, it is more because it is direct. So like you're taking the support of only this films to produce the image, so the processing time will be more. But now in indirect it is less because there is this intensifying screen which intensify your image quality. So the next difference is the resolution. So resolution in this is more, it is less in the indirect one. The exposure dose is more, it is less in the indirect, because now your indirect one, it has this intensifying screen, so because of that your exposure dose will also reduce. And whereas the direct one, it has no like such screens, because of that the exposure dose is also more. And it is used in the orbits and extremities radiography. It is also used in industrial radiography. It can also be used in the limb radiography, or to detect the intraocular foreign bodies, that is the orbit radiography. And this one, the indirect one, it is used in general radiography. So now we have seen the exposure dose is more in the direct one and it is less in the indirect one. But now this exposure dose is reduced, but at the cost of the fine image detail. Now, so we have seen now there is superficial image formation, and because of that the image quality is hampered in the, when you are like reducing the exposure rate, but you have to pay the cost that your image quality will get hampered in this indirect one. So the indirect one, they are mainly of two types. So your indirect, they are of two types. One is the blue light sensitive and the other is green light sensitive. So you have to remember this, they are of two types, blue light sensitive and green light sensitive. So this blue light ones, so this film, it contains calcium tungsten in the screen. So when the film, it consists of calcium tungsten, so it is a blue light sensitive. And if it is a green one, so this film, it contains rare earth elements. So this is all about the, according to the sensitivity, that is the direct and indirect. Now the next classification is according to the use. So we have seen it is intraoral, extraoral and duplicating. So intraoral is, so these films, they are used for taking the intraoral radiographs. So it is a non-screen film that consists of an emulsion which is spread on both the sides. And they are of the following types. So we have seen there are three types: periapical, bite wing and occlusal. So periapical, so these films, they are used to take the periapical radiographs. These films, they are available in different sizes. So there are various sizes, that is 0, 1, 2. So size 0 is usually used for children. Size 1 is used for the anterior teeth and 2 is used for the posterior teeth. So it records the outline, position and the dimensions of the teeth. Now what is this bite wing? So this bite wing films, they are used to detect detect the proximal caries and the alveolar bone loss. So this film, it records an image of the crown and the interproximal regions of the maxillary and the mandibular teeth. Now what are the occlusion ones? So these films, they are larger than the periapical. So these are the larger ones than the periapical ones. So they are mainly used to take the occlusal projection for the detection of the lesion. So they record the image of an entire arch. So in occlusal films, so there is this size 4 in occlusion, and the dimension of it is 57 into 76 mm. So the dimension of your occlusal film is 57 into 76 mm. Now your size 0, the dimension for it is 22 into 35 mm. Size 1 is 24 into 40 mm. You have to remember this because this is commonly asked in the vivas. And size 2 is 31 into 41. So this is the dimensions for your periapical, that is the size 0, 1, 2. Now in your bite wing, so there are 4 sizes which are used, that is 0, 1, 2 and 3. So these are the same, like the dimensions of it are same as that of your periapical. The size 3 one, it has the dimension of 27 into 54 mm. So these all are the films that are used according to where you are exactly using it. So depending upon it is whether it is periapical, occlusal or it is bite wing, and these are all the dimension and the sizes which are used in it. Now the extraoral one. So the extraoral films, these films, they are used for taking all the extraoral radiographs. So these are used in the combination with the intensifying screen. So now the intraoral ones, they are without screen, and the extraoral one, they are with screens. And the last one was the duplicating films. So these are the films which are used only when the duplication of your radiograph it is required, and they are usually a single emulsion film. So when you require duplication of your radiograph, so in that case you are using the duplicating films. The next classification is according to the speed of film. Now what is speed of film? So the radiographic speed, it is defined as it is the amount of radiation which is required to produce the radiograph of the adequate density. So it means, so the speed is nothing but the amount of radiation which is required to get that radiographic image. So the slow speed radiation films, they require more exposure, obviously, because now the slow speed, now as the definition say, it's the radiation which is required to get the radiographic image. So now in slow speed, so as the name says slow, so in that the exposure will increase to get the radiographic image. So in fast it will be comparatively less, and in hyper speed it is the least. So now slow speed films, so this type of films, it contains small size of grains of silver halide. Because of that it is slow speed. So this film, it gives better definition, but it requires more exposure, as these films, they are usually coated with the emulsion on one side only. So in slow speed, so they are covered, or they are having this one side emulsion only, and they are denoted by A, B or C speed. So the slow speeds are the A, B and C speed. Now the next one is the fast speed. So these films, they have larger grain size. So these are the like factors which determine the speed of the film. So the factors which determine the speed is the size of the crystal, the size, then the shape of the grains and the thickness of the emulsion. So now in fast, as we have seen, so these films, they have larger grain size, and the coating of emulsion, it is present on both the sides, whereas in slow you have seen it was having like small size of the grains of the silver halide, and there was like one emulsion layer which is present. Now in fast there are two emulsion layers, and it has larger grain size, and due to this films, it requires less exposure time as compared to the other films, and they have this three like names which are D, E and F. So they are denoted by D, E and F. So D is the ultra speed, so it is known as ultra speed. E is known as ecta speed, and F is known as ultra ecta speed. So these are like the three films. These are the three types of your fast films. A, B, C are the slow, D, E, F are the fast, and hyper speed G. So this is G. So this is the most fastest like the film. So it is hyper speed. So this is a 800 speed film that reduces the patient exposure. So in this, the patient's exposure is the least, and this is the classification depending upon the speed of the film. And the last classification is according to the packaging. So we have seen there are two. There is single film packet and double film packet. Now in single film, so as the name says, the film packet, it contains only single film. So there is only one film in the packet. Now in double, in double packaging, so now as the name says, there are two films. So the packet, it contains two films. So they are used when the duplicated radiograph is desired, or when the dentist, he wants a fully processed or a under processed radiograph of the some areas. So these types of films, they require slightly more exposure as compared to the single packet film. So double, as the name says, there are two films in it, and single is there is one film, but in this double film, so you require the exposure to be increased because there are two films and you need to take the radiographic image on both of it. So this is all about the classification of your X-ray films. Now the film that we are using, so depending upon the sensitivity, as you know, you're not using any screen, so it is a direct action film that you are using according to your sensitivity. Then according to the use, you're using a periapical film. Then according to the speed of the film, so the speed of the film, it is usually written on the back of your film. So it is written which speed exactly that film is of. So it is written on it. The next is according to packaging. So according to the packaging, now you know you're using a single film. So there are no double films which are present in the film that you are using usually in the colleges. So it is a single packaging. So in the next video of this X-ray films, I'm going to talk about the content of the film packet, and the most important, that is the composition of your X-ray films. And even I'm going to talk about the latent image formation. Now how exactly your image just form on this films. So I'm going to cover all these topics. So it was all about this classification. I hope you found this video helpful. And if you have any doubts regarding this topic, do let me know in the comment section. Thank you so much.